Hi everyone, it's Vicki from Minerva. Now I have some really gorgeous fabrics to share with you today. So today we're going to take a look at John Kaldor fabrics, and I've picked some of my personal favourite prints, and I've got 10 different types of base cloths to share with you. So I thought it would be interesting to take a look through these fabrics, talk about the differences between them, and give you some ideas on the sort of styles and the sort of patterns that you can make in these different fabrics. So let's get stuck into the first one. So this first design I've got here is a stretch satin fabric, and the scale of the print on this one is huge. So if I hold that up, that shows you there from selvage to selvage. So it's plain at the top, and then we have this fabulous border print that works its way across the fabric like that. Isn't that just a show-stopping print? It's absolutely beautiful. Now this is our Santa Cruz fabric. That's the name of the base cloth, and that is a stretch woven satin. So across the width of the fabric, you can see that that has a little bit of stretch, so not as much stretch as you would find in a knit woven. And then down the length of the fabric, there is no stretch at all, not even any give there. So with this fabric, you could make, so many different styles of garments, and you know, that little bit of wiggle room is just lovely to be able to incorporate into your designs from that little bit of stretch that you get. But it's a lovely weight of satin, and we have another satin that's going to be coming up later, which is a charmeuse silky satin. But this, it's different to that in that it's definitely much weightier, and of course it has the added stretch. Now I think for this particular design, you would want to be able to use that border print and show it off in all its glory. So I think something like a robe would be really pretty. And if you can imagine the back of that, if you positioned this panel of the border at the centre of the back of the robe, that would be just beautiful. It would also make a gorgeous maxi skirt or a maxi dress. And if you have a look at the product page for this fabric on Minerva, you'll be able to see what other members of the Minerva community have made using this fabric, and it's really inspiring. There's a beautiful dress on there, and yeah, it just gives you ideas on how you'll be able to place this print. It's definitely a fabric that, you know, requires some thought in terms of how you're going to use it, what pattern you'd use, and how you'd place the passing pieces, but it's really going to give you a really stunning, unique designer look that's just going to look incredible. Now the next fabric I've got to share with you, so this is a viscose challis fabric. There we go. And I just love the colour of this. It's like an old gold or a tobacco colour, that sort of really rich, warm, golden tones. And the floral print on there is just so pretty. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Now this sort of fabric is soft and drapey, very fluid, wafts and drapes like a dream. And I think this would be beautiful for making tops and blouses, but also skirts and dresses. It has enough weight in that one that it's not see-through at all, so I don't think you would need to line that at all unless you wish to. So it would also be great for like summery trousers, like palazzo pants, or a jumpsuit, something like the Zadie from Paper Theory. That would be gorgeous. But any kind, most dress styles, something like the Sew Over It Eve dress. So many things you can make with this fabric. It's such a versatile kind of fabric. Beautiful to wear in the summer, but team it with tights and boots in the winter, and it'll take you all through the year. Next up, this is a Georgette fabric. Now the base cloth is called Lisa in this one, and this is actually another border print design, but it's quite different to the first one. So if I hold it up this way, so at the bottom of the screen there, hopefully you'll be able to see, that is one of the selvages, and where my hands are here at the top, that's where it's folded in half. And then if I show you the other side of the fabric, you can see it's the same on the other side. So hopefully that helps envisage what the fabric is like. But if I hold it up this way as well, so this is the selvage here, and you can see how it's got that dark, very sort of dark edge to the fabric there near the selvage. And then as we work across the fabric, you can see how, again, it works its way through to a dark panel at the other end. So again, you would want to think how you would place your pattern pieces on this fabric to really make the most of this print and create a really unique, one-of-a-kind garment. Now, my mum has recently made a very loose drapey top in this fabric that she's going to be wearing over a dress. She's made it for her holidays. And it looks really good because she's used different parts of the design in different parts of the top. So the back of the garment actually looks quite different to the front, but it all tones in and just, it looks really, really lovely. And she's teamed it over a dress that she's made, which is in that, like a deep chartreuse colour. So the whole look just looks fantastic, and as soon as she's finished it, she'll definitely be sharing it on Minerva, so be sure to check her profile if you want to have a look at that. So yeah, really lovely fabric. Now this is a Georgette, which is in the crepe family. So it's very much like a crepe with that traditional crepe texture, but it's lighter weight than a standard crepe. So it is a little bit sheer. So that makes it ideal for the sorts of things like what my mum's made. So, you know, a loose drapey top that you would wear over a dress. But you know, I would make a top or a blouse in that and feel comfortable wearing it without a lining or without a slip underneath. If you were making a dress, I would probably want to line this, or like I say, wear it over a slip. But if you were making something with lots of gathers that's very full, you might get away with it. I think it's down to personal preference on that one. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful colour and beautiful design that allows you to get really creative with that fabric. So the next fabric, this is our Juliette peach skin fabric. And peach skin it's like a crepe fabric, so you can see how soft and drapey and silky and smooth that is. But it's really finely woven, and the finish that it has on the top is so smooth, it almost feels like a peach. You know, that smooth, silky texture. And yeah, that's where it gets its name from, peach skin. It has a lovely weight to it, does this fabric, which comes from how finely woven it is. So you've lots of threads per inch or per centimetre, and it certainly wouldn't need lining for that reason. So it's one of those great fabrics that gives you that softness, fluidity and movement and lightness, yet it's not see-through. So suitable for so many different styles of garments, dresses, skirts, tops, blouses, any sort of pattern that requires that movement. If you have a look on the product pages on Minerva, there's some fabulous things that have been made using this exact print, and they just look amazing. It's such a beautiful print, this pale aqua colour in the background, and the peach and the very soft sunset yellow flowers. Absolutely gorgeous. Just love how that fabric handles. Now next up, this is another crepe. This is a different type of crepe again. Now this one is called our Hermione crepe. And this is a very lightweight crepe. So it's different to the Georgette because it doesn't have quite the same texture. Whereas I would say the Georgette rather has a very typical crepe weave. This one, even though it does have some texture, it's definitely smoother, and you can feel that when you handle the fabric. And it's very lightweight, yet it's still not see-through. I don't think you would need to line that at all. Of course you could if you wanted to, but I certainly don't think that's necessary to line this fabric. And the lightness just gives it this beautiful, almost bounce. Even though it's drapey, it still holds its structure. It's a little bit of a waft wafty, airy sort of drape compared to some of the other fabrics. Really, really beautiful. Again, perfect for tops, blouses, skirts, dresses. I think this will be lovely for anything with a ruffle or a like a flutter sleeve, or gathers. All those sorts of details will be beautiful for this fabric. And isn't that print just gorgeous? Pinks and purples and that dusky lilac in the background. Absolutely gorgeous. Now the next fabric, so this is the charmeuse silky satin that I referenced earlier. And this is, oh, it's so soft, so silky. The drape on it is just fabulous. Very lightweight, and with it being a satin, it does have that sheen on the surface. It's not a very, very shiny satin, but it definitely does have a shimmer and a shine, which hopefully the camera's picking that up there. It's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely quite a light and airy, wafty kind of drape on that one again. Now I think this would be beautiful. I mean, it would make the most luxurious sleepwear or pyjamas or a dressing gown or a robe, but it would also make a beautiful dress or blouse, skirt. I see this as something for the summer or something for a special occasion. So like for a dress for a summer wedding would just be beautiful. The colours in there, really soft and quite pastel, but there's in all the colours that are in the print, there's darker tones that do come through, like this green and the orangey sort of rusty colour. So it's not too lightweight, yet it has that pastel soft overall look. Really, really beautiful, that one. And again, compared to the last satin, so this one isn't stretchy at all. So that's again one of the main differences between the two. Now we're going on to knits and stretch fabrics. So this one is our viscose jersey from John Kaldor, and this is called, the base cloth is called Florence, and it is so silky smooth and soft. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. When you feel this at home, you'll see what I mean. It's just so soft. Oh, the quality is incredible on John Kaldor fabrics. Now this design I think is really quite funky. It's a little bit different for John Kaldor. You know, they often do lots of florals and very classic designs, whereas this is, I think, quite modern and unusual for them. Really lovely. So it's a tomato red, I would describe it, and then these blocks, geometric blocks in black. So it's simply two colours in the print, and it creates such a dramatic look. I think this will be lovely to make a tunic top in, or well, t-shirts will be lovely. Something like the Closet Core ebony top will be fabulous. There's a pattern from Vogue, 8952 I think is the number. That would be really lovely in this. I've made that so many times in a viscose jersey and it works really, really well. I would, because of the lightness and the softness and the drape of this jersey, I'd be tempted to stick to styles where it requires a knit fabric that has softness and drape, like those ones I've mentioned. Nothing too form-fitting, things with drape and softness. Absolutely perfect for this fabric. And then next up, this is the second knit I've got to share with you today, and this is the Portia base cloth, which is a polyester and spandex blend, and it's an ITY knit is this one, and you'll be able to see just how incredibly slinky and drapey this fabric is. It's just, the movement and fluidity of ITY knits is just incredible. There's nothing quite like it. It's just amazing, and the quality of this one, it's got a beautiful weight to it, but still retains that fluidity and drape. It's absolutely lovely, and I love the design on this. So it's a black background with these quite realistic looking florals all over the surface in all different colours. Really, really beautiful. It also comes in another colourway, this one, on a soft sagey background, which is lovely as well. Now for these sorts of fabrics, again you can make t-shirts and tunics and dresses. It's maybe ever so slightly sheer, but only slightly. I personally don't think I'd be lining that at all. I don't think you'd even need to wear a slip under it, but down to personal preference. Some people may want to. And if you did want to line this fabric, we do stock a stretch knit lining at Minerva, which is perfect for lining stretch knits like this, and you'll retain the stretch in the garment then. But yeah, like I say, like the same with the last fabric, any pattern that requires a soft drapey knit, something with a cowl neckline would be beautiful, or a flutter sleeve would just be beautiful for that fabric and really would make use of that gorgeous drape. I would say with this fabric, if you're new to sewing with knits, I wouldn't recommend this as your first knit fabric to sew with. It is quite slippy and slippy and slidey. I would recommend a more stable knit if it's your first garment sewing with knits. But if you do take your time with this fabric, and the garments that you can make from it are just absolutely beautiful, so it is worth it, that investment in time and just being a little bit patient with it. Now next up, so we have a stretch woven fabric here. So it's a stretch fabric similar to the last two, except this is woven, not knit. So the characteristics are very different. And this fabric, so the name of the base cloth from John Kaldor is called Ursula, and it's a stretch woven sateen, which traditionally or typically come in stretch cottons. But this one is actually a polyester with elastane. So it does have a different feel, and it's very much, I would say, what you would make a more formal garment in. So something you would wear to like a wedding or a special occasion. You could make some really beautiful special occasion wearing this, and it just has such an expensive look to it. It's a sateen, not a satin, so it's not shiny, but it does have a very lustrous sheen. That's a very lustrous finish to it, that it looks incredible. And with this being a polyester as opposed to a cotton, what that does mean is it's much more drapey than the cotton varieties, which we do have lots of at Minerva, and cotton versions are a fabulous fabric as well, but the characteristics are just different with this one, with it being polyester. So like I say, it's much more drapey, really soft. So you get the benefits of a sateen that has weight to it like this, with the softness of that drape that comes from the fibre content. And with this, so like I said, this is a stretch woven, so it doesn't have any stretch down the length. There's no stretch or give there at all, but it does stretch down across the width of the fabric. So probably about 10 to 15% stretch there, just a little bit. And what that does is it makes it easier to get a good fit if you're making something that's quite fitted. And it also means that it's just that little bit more comfortable to wear once you've actually made the garment up and you're wearing it. Just gives you that little bit of movement and wiggle room, which I think I love a stretch woven fabric for that reason. Now, particular patterns for this, I think you could make a jacket, you could make a fitted dress, you could make a fit and flare dress, a full skirt in this would just be fabulous, the weight of that fabric. You could make a pencil skirt, you could make fitted trousers, you could make tops and blouses, but it would be a more weighted top or blouse. But yes, so much you could make. And that print, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Black background with this red flower, really, really lovely. And then the last fabric I've got to share with you today, so this is another sateen, so like the last fabric, but this is completely different. So this is 100% cotton, so the fibre content is different. This one is no stretch at all, whereas the last one was stretchy. And this one is a much lighter weight fabric. So in comparison to the last one, you can see there how it's got much more structure with it being made from cotton, but it's light and breezy and airy, again with it being made from cotton as opposed to the polyester. It's a really lovely weight, so it's a light to medium weight fabric. Doesn't need lining, certainly in this colourway. You certainly wouldn't need to line that at all. And I think this sort of fabric is perfect for making tops, shirts, dresses, shirt dresses, shorts, skirts, even summery trousers or a summery jumpsuit. Very, very luxurious pyjamas will be lovely in this. Yes, so much you could wear, you could make, and it's a really lovely fabric to sew. Presses like a dream. I like to think of non-stretch cotton sateens like this. For me, they're the dressmaker's version of a quilting cotton, because they've got that beautiful softness, but they're a similar weight, and just, yeah, perfect for so many different styles, and such a well-behaved, lovely fabric to sew with. Really, really lovely. And isn't that print just, oh, absolutely beautiful. So that's all of the fabrics that I had to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed having a look at those with me. I really enjoyed picking these out and talking through them with you today, and hopefully giving you lots of ideas on the sorts of things that you can make with these fabrics. Let me know in the comments below which was your favourite. Have you sewn with any of these? Have I now inspired you to make something with these? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, please give us a like and a follow. And of course, we'd love to welcome you to the Minerva community. Head over to Minerva, create a profile, it's completely free, and you can join the wonderful community of sewists that there are at Minerva. There's sewists from literally every corner of the globe, all there to chat sewing. They share photos and videos of things that they've made, which you can do too. You can ask the community for tips and advice. Just generally get involved in the chat all about sewing with people that are as passionate about it as you are. We hope to see you there. Thank you very much for watching today, and I'll be back again soon with another video.